Welcome back to Boys on Film. Look who's here, Max Ellis, Katherine Ellis. I think you are the perfect people to talk about this documentary, because I would imagine you love the movie. I don't know if you've seen the theatre show, Rocky
We've
Horror.
only seen the movie last week for the first time.
Ooh.
Yeah, we bought the film. I bought the film on eBay, and we watched it. And we watched it for the first time after the documentary.
You've never seen it?
No.
I am gooped, gagged, shooketh.
It's very interesting because I'm aware of it, obviously, but I remember at art college where there was a lot of the uncool people at art college all went to a thing and they all dressed up. And it was like, the thing is, okay, well, we're getting into this before we're getting into it, but I was dressed up more outrageously than that on a daily basis. I'd be wearing fishnets and, torn things and makeup. I wouldn't go to the bus stop without full makeup on. I wouldn't even go to the bus stop without putting on my foundation, my eyeliner, backcombing my hair. And it was just a bit like, oh, who are all these people kind of trying to be outrageous? And, it's like Halloween when everyone dresses up and looks best for the first time in their lives. So that was why I didn't really get into it or think it was good.
It's what's come with it as well, because it's become it's more than a cult favourite now because it's so mainstream, isn't it, Rocky Horror?
My mum knew it. My mum had heard of the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Because Max said, oh, nobody knows about this anymore. So I said, well, let's find out. So we asked Pia, who's 23 and lives in our house. She was like, oh my God, yeah, I love it. It's one of my favourite films. And then Zebedee's girlfriend, Nat, was like, oh God, I love the Rocky Horror. I want to go to that. And I was like, well, there you go.
So what did you think of the movie? Before we talk about the documentary, the film.
The actual film, it did make me laugh. I didn't know that Susan Sarandon was in it. The only people I knew about really was, well, the lead character, because he's on all the pictures. And obviously the guy that wrote it all, who's in the documentary, I'd heard of him. I didn't know Christopher Biggins was in it.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? I suppose it's of its time, isn't it?
I thought it was good, but I think it's probably one of those films that you perhaps have to see at a certain time in your life, either a certain age or depending on what's going on. I just think as a 60-year-old
diva
woman, I don't know, it just wasn't, and it's also impossible to know how it was perceived at the time.
Well, it was quite shocking. It was quite
but you can't, but you're never going to know what that was like. So I think if I'd seen it when it came out, I probably would have loved it. And I don't know, it's like, it's funny because a friend of ours said, oh, Ferris Bueller's Day Out, best film ever, and we watched it and we were like, But I think sometimes when you watch film, it's to do with who you see it with and what you're doing at the time and what your friends experience. Are into. And Absolutely. So I think just standing up as a film, just away from all that, I don't know. I did enjoy watching it and I felt it was important to watch it. And actually the documentary made me want to watch it.
Jeremy bought it because we hadn't seen it for years. I saw it. It must have been 20, 30 years ago. And I hadn't seen it more recently. In a way, the popularity of it has put me off it a little bit, or put me off going back to see it again, because you kind of see it everywhere. It's mainstream culture, isn't it? It's become mainstream culture, so it's a bit overkill in some ways. I'm not saying the film is overkill, but the stuff that came with it, and it's great that it's so popular.
I thought it was, of that period, I love Pink Flamingos. It's one of my favourite films. I saw that. That was the film we were watching. And in comparison, it's nothing. Really, it's just not shocking. The characters aren't that amazing. Pink Flamingos, I was saying, if Roger Waters directed it and Divine was Frankenfurter, that would be a film. I'd like to see that. That would be amazing. But it's just a bit too straight.
But that's what I mean. It's impossible to know how it was perceived at the time, because obviously now sort of sitting there and thinking, well, okay, there's people of different sexes having sex with each other and there's men dressed up in women's underwear. It's like, and perhaps this film partly paved the way for that to be something which is commonplace. But then Max is saying that it's not, because there were other films that were doing the same thing, but I don't know.
Earlier.
So this is a documentary. It's called Strange Journey, the story of Rocky Horror. It's directed by Linus O'Brien, who's the son of the legendary Richard O'Brien, who of course went on to do Crystal Maze, and he's got such a background in this kind of film and these projects, which were very on the edge, kind of alternative. He's become very distinctive. I think he was always distinctive, and I think he's remembered for breaking boundaries.
So he's the bald guy in the Crystal Maze, that guy?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I've seen him on things and been aware. I've never seen the Crystal Maze, but I know his character. I didn't realise it was the same guy.
Yeah, Richard O'Brien.
Right.
So he started out in Hair. He was in Hair the Musical, and that's where he met Tim Curry. Tim Curry obviously went on to play Pennywise in It, and he's done all these other movies as well. But it's such a great cast. You mentioned Susan Sarandon, Barry Bostwick,
Meatloaf.
Patricia Quinn,
Meatloaf, yeah.
Nell Campbell. Brilliant characters as well. Drag queen Trixie Mattel, drag queen from RuPaul's Drag Race, talks about his childhood and going to see it or picking it up, seeing it in a VHS video store, and going home and feeling, I don't know, like it was the people that he wanted to be around, or his people, So I think this film did introduce an element of, I don't know, companionship for a lot of people that were others. A lot of people that felt
it's
like they were on the
obviously
outside.
really hit a nerve, because it's sort of more or less had a life of its own, hasn't it?
Yeah.
People have decided that they love it and have formed almost a religion around it.
Again, because it was groundbreaking, but people did feel like that. They felt like the characters that were in Rocky Horror. So for them, it didn't feel unusual. But obviously on the outside, to mainstream, what else was happening on TV and in the movies, it was very sanitized, wasn't it? So it did feel like it was quite weird to a lot of people. But for a lot of people, it felt like that's how they wanted to live their lives. So
these are my people.
So it started off as a theatre show. I'd love to have seen it, the musical. But obviously they made it into a movie. Because I never think of the musical. It's weird because I always think of the film.
I didn't really know much about it. I found the documentary really interesting and inspiring, because basically they were just... obviously Richard O'Brien is extremely driven, but, he had good ideas and he got a good team of people around him. So he wrote the songs, and then he had this other guy who sort of made them better. He had the kind of bare bones of it, and then this guy would sort of orchestrate them and, put in all the bells and whistles. And he had a really good team around him, and there were a lot of deadlines and things they had to do quickly, and they just kind of got on with it. And I think there's a lot to be said in art and making music with just get on with it.
Because you're a singer-songwriter, so what do you think of the music? Because I think the songs are really strong on the soundtrack.
Yeah, there's those two main obviously the time warp. This is the other thing. I thought the narrator was amazing in the film. I didn't know, because I hadn't seen the film, that he goes, "It's just a jump to the right. It's just a jump to the right." Whereas I've seen sort of spoofs of it and other people doing it and thinking, why are they talking? Why are they just talking? Why aren't they singing? I didn't know, because I hadn't seen the film. I didn't know that was in it. I like that "Touch Me" song. Touch me, touch me.
So good.
Those are the only ones I've heard. The Time Warp, the Sweet Transvestite, and Touch Me are the only
I'd
three
never
I've
heard "Touch Me" before.
I have, but those are the only ones that are actually. The rest of them are a bit nothingy.
Well, the other ones are sort of more. They're sort of harder to take out of the script, I suppose, because they're very much about what's happening in the film, aren't they?
And I suppose they're not as memorable, maybe. They're not as hooky,
one with
maybe.
Janet, damn it, Janet, and all that.
Yeah. Do you know what I loved about this documentary, though? One of the things I really loved was how Linus O'Brien is the son of Richard O'Brien. He's directing this. I loved how easily he could have featured more in this, like himself, because obviously he's the son, and he has the story of how he grew up and how influential his dad was on his life and stuff. And he brings that to the film. But, anyone else with bigger egos could have put themselves in it more. And he doesn't. He kind of sits in the background, really. He sits on the sidelines and doesn't... He lets everybody else do the talking, and I liked that. He kind of handed the stories over to them, because they were the storytellers, really, the people that were involved in making it and being part of the theatre show.
It was good to know as well that it wasn't all, well, not good to know, interesting to know it wasn't all plain sailing, and New York hated them to start with, and
yeah,
they it wasn't all particularly easy, but it was really after they'd made the film and it started coming out in the cinema. He was saying, we always get like 50 people, but it's the same 50 people. They're coming every week. And then it sort of spread. And I suppose all those people you saw at art college, Max, they're all the people that wanted to dress up as the characters and go along and feel like they were part of the film, just grew and grew and grew. And clearly it's still going today.
Yeah, it was like word of mouth, wasn't it? Best form of advertising. People were telling each other.
But it wasn't it wasn't planned. It wasn't like a PR campaign. It was something that actually had a life of its own, that for whatever reason struck a chord. And, it was just kind of something that came together organically. It wasn't engineered in order to have a certain effect, or at least that's what we're being told. But I think it's genuine.
Good to see Tim Curry looking well as well. He's 79 now, but he had a major stroke about 15 years ago.
Did he?
I wonder what happened to him. I had to go get that picture of me of the period where I was dressed up as.
Yes, I want to see this. I mean, I've seen some photos, but maybe not that far back. This is going to be great. So yeah, Tim Curry's got a memoir coming out. He's publishing his memoirs actually in a few weeks, coming out in October, which will be an interesting read, I think, to read his life story.
Look, Max has turned into a panel of blue.
He's very wooden today, isn't he? He's
very
not saying much.
Very one-dimensional.
I can't find the one I was thinking of.
Oh,
Max.
I've got this one, but it's not the one I was thinking of.
Wow, look at that. Look at you. What a stunner. I can see why you married him, Catherine.
Well, I snapped him up. He was on the market for a few weeks. I thought I'll have him.
Oh, I know what I was going to ask you about, because it's very emotional, because Richard O'Brien, I think, is in his late 70s. And he does kind of jokingly reference that he hasn't got long left, because I suppose as time passes and you have all these memories from, the 70s, I mean, that's way back, and it's an important part of his life, and he obviously feels very passionate still about his work, which is good to see. And I found that really moving. I found it really moving that he is able to share his stories and he still remains that same person. He hasn't become bitter or jaded by the popularity of it.
He strikes me as a real artist, isn't he? He's just sort of being creative with his life.
I did well up a few times. Are you telling me that you didn't cry? We did this last time.
I can't remember. I did. I really enjoyed the documentary.
I preferred it to the film.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's because I probably didn't see it at the right time in my life, perhaps, to really appreciate it. It didn't sort of make me want to be a massive fan of the film now. Like, having seen the film, I wouldn't want to go to the film and dress up or anything like that.
No.
I mean, unless a good friend was having a party and they said, this is what I want to do for my birthday and I've booked the cinema, I'd do it then, but I wouldn't volunteer to go and be a part of it, if you see what I mean.
I guess there's that association with hen parties and that whole, do you know what I mean? It's become like so commercialised, isn't it? In a way, it's not really the cult classic that it was. I think it will remain a cult classic for a lot of people, but it's become so big.
Just touch me.
I like the meatloaf bit the best in the whole film. That was the only bit I liked, really.
The only bit of the film.
I actually liked the look of the film. You could sort of see how everything had been done, and it was obviously done on a budget, but I thought it was done really well, and it definitely had a certain look about it, which was coherent. I thought it was really good.
What about the bits where it goes Benny Hill?
Oh, yeah, it was a bit Benny Hill, yeah.
Speed up, they all run round like in Benny Hill.
Yeah.
It's like...
Wasn't it shot in where they shot Hammer horror films or something? They were talking about that in the documentary.
I think so.
Kind of has that feel about it, doesn't it? That I suppose comes back to the budget again. You know, if it's low budget, if it's done well, it's still authentic. It still feels like an old British film, doesn't it? For the
Was
70s.
it really low budget? Didn't they try and make? They did sort of went out of their way to make it look a bit clunky, didn't they? That was the premise.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I don't think it was particularly low budget.
Shall I have a look?
Yes,
Go on,
I think it was.
It says spilling tea everywhere. It was made on a budget of $1.4 million. And at the box office, guess how much it made? And it was
I don't know. Is 1.4 million a lot or a little? I don't know. Is that a small amount?
In the 70s, I think that was probably quite a lot of money.
Yeah.
Because you do see films that are made now, but
just think it is, Phil. I want you to Google the question.
You should know this shit.
I can't know everything. I know you think I know everything.
I'm asking AI. Was the Rocky Horror Picture Show made on a small budget? Yes, the Rocky Horror Picture Show was made on a small budget, with reports indicating it was around 1.1 to 1.5 million. The low budget was a compromise made by the director in order to keep the original stage cast for the film adaptation of the musical.
It was Jim Sharman, wasn't it? The
So
director?
yes, it was on a budget.
I don't
Thank
think
you.
AI knows. Don't believe AI. Don't ask AI.
Yeah, I don't really trust
Don't involve
AI. They're stealing our jobs.
Listen, I'm more inclined to believe AI than RRT. Who's
How
just saying what
dare
he
you.
wants to be true.
Get out of my
I think
pub.
that sounds like a lot. Let's say it's a lot. Let's just say it was a big budget. No, let's not just decide things that aren't true, Phil. We're supposed to be providing information.
Anyway, it has made $166 million. There you go.
Well, that's good. Well done, then.
Wow. I mean,
Is that a lot for a movie?
That
I don't
doesn't
know.
sound like a lot to me.
I suppose when you think about
That's 106. That's a couple of streets of houses in Teddington. That's not a lot.
Well, how much did Star Wars cost? That's what I want to know.
Do you want to get onto AI about that
Yeah,
one?
yes, I do. How much did Star Wars A New Hope cost?
God, this is dragging on,
Can,
isn't it?
can AI be
11
any quicker?
11 million.
11 million. So, I mean, that's quite a lot more, but, I mean, only 10 times as much.
And it's an American film with a big production
Yeah.
budget.
I'd say 10 times more is a lot.
Yeah, but...
But of
look
course,
what
they're
they
both
do.
science fiction films, aren't they?
They sort of are. I didn't know there were aliens.
Yeah, I didn't know they were aliens.
Hmm.
Oh, Phil, see, Phil's forgotten so much. We're ruining the film now.
Plot spoiler. It is decision time for Strange Journey, the story of Rocky Horror. How many stars are we going to give it? Katherine Ellis.
5.
Ooh, really? Wow.
Yeah. I thought it was
Excellent.
really interesting.
Yeah.
It made me want to watch the film, and I would recommend it.
Give it 4. I think it was a good 4. I enjoyed it. It made me want to watch the actual film.
Excellent. Well, I agree with both of you on the points that you've made. Very interesting points. We've had a great discussion. I'm going to side with Katherine, though, on the stars.
Wow.
Because I'm going for 5. I thought it was really moving. I thought it was fascinating. It made me want to watch the film. And I haven't seen the film for ages. And I learnt a lot, actually. I know, like, documentaries aren't always about learning things, but it's nice to, you know, have a bit of knowledge about something.
I also thought the story of how it all came about was inspiring and should be relevant to anybody undertaking any artistic endeavour.
And I think it's really affected people in a good way. It's like you said, it's inspired people, but it's also made them not feel alone.
It's also enabled them to take a jump to the right and then a jump to the left. And obviously, let's not forget the importance of a pelvic thrust.
Do you want to show us that?
No.
Max, do you?
I couldn't. My camera won't follow it. It just follows my face.
Oh, this is boring. Can we
Just
not have
draw
any
a
pelvic
face on
thrust?
your willy. Oh, look,
Gorgeous.
you're doing it with this picture. That's good.
Gorgeous. Look
I'll
at
do
that.
it with my drink can. Yeah, CBD.
Oh,
Whoa,
Max.
now you're talking. Mucus cough syrup.
Do you know what I used to do at art college? I used to, when I used to have to stay up and complete work that I'd forgotten about, and there was a mad panic to get it in on time, the next day. I used to sit and eat spoons of coffee and Pro Plus. Used to take Pro Plus.
Oh yeah, Pro Plus.
Disgusting.
I did the
That's so
adverts
gross.
for Pro Plus on the tube. I remember doing the.
Oh yeah.
You didn't do body
No,
form.
I wish I'd done body form. Gaviscon. I've also contributed to adverts for Coca-Cola, McDonald's. I was 3 little pigs on a McDonald's advert. They sort of sped me up. I sounded like chipmunks. Saga Holidays.
Go on, give us a Gaviscon.
I was going to sing body form then. Hang on. What a feeling! 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 Woo!
Has Max gone? Has he left us without saying
he's
goodbye?
had to talk to a builder or something, he said.
Goodbye, Max.
Yeah,
Thank
bye,
you for
Max.
joining us.
By the way, Max, I approve of your new look. It's very streamlined.